welcome to part 10 of Storytime. I'm so excited. 10 parts already, and we still have about 8 more, I think, maybe after this one. So keep on keeping on with me. I hope you guys aren't getting bored with the story because I think it's just getting good. Last time we read, Kyle, Akemi, Sierra, and Miguel, they have all joined forces to be one team, one alliance. And they wanted to see the discarded library cards that were like in the fishbowl. Mr. Lemoncello said that in order to get them, they have to play a game. If they win the game, they get all the cards. If they lose the game, they have to take their cards and put them in the fishbowl. So we'll see what's going to happen. Chapter 28. Now then, said Mr. Lemoncello, are you ready to play, risking everything for 5 little library cards? Kyle swallowed hard. Then he nodded. All right, you maniac McGee's, here is your picture puzzle. The category is famous quotes. You have 60 seconds to solve this rebus. Wait a second, said Akemi. What's a rebus? You figure out the words in a phrase by looking at pictures and symbols, said Kyle. For instance, added Miguel, the letters R and E plus a picture of a school bus would equal rebus. Oh, okay, said Akemi. If you guys say so. Are you ready to play? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Kyle looked at his teammates, who nodded. Yes, sir. Then on your mark, get set, go, dog, go. Mr. Lemoncello's image disappeared. Tick-tock clock music started playing. The video screens all projected the same picture. There's the picture that they showed. If I didn't hold that up long enough and you want to look at it, you can just pause the video and look at it more. We're officially dead, said Akemi. 55 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Okay, we break it up 4 ways, said Kyle. The first and third rows are similar. I'll do them. I'll do the last one, said Akemi. I'll take the second row, said Miguel. I'm 4, said Sierra. 50 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello, and everyone went to work. Mine is some guy hitting himself in the thumb with a grr and an O, muttered Akemi. Then the male symbol where the LE equals RX. Marks? Does that make sense? Hello, Kyle, is my second half marks? Kyle didn't answer. He was too busy deciphering his own clue lines. Outlet, change the let to side. He mumbled golf minus the G and the L, the letter A, 40 seconds. Dog, he dropped to the third line. He just needed the first word. Bowling pins without the P, but add an I'd, 30 seconds. Kyle glanced at Miguel. He was moving his lips, mouthing out his part of the quote. Sierra too. You guys ready? Kyle whispered. Hang on, said Miguel. 20 seconds. Okay, go. Kyle read the first line. Outside of a dog, Miguel picked up the thread. A book is man's best friend. Kyle continued. Inside of a dog, Sierra took over. Is too dark to read? Akemi brought them home. Groucho Marx. Is that your final answer? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Yes, said Kyle, and then he repeated the entire quote. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. Bells rang, chaser lights flashed, the audience went wild. Akemi and Sierra actually squealed and hugged each other. You are correct, shouted Mr. Lemoncello. There's no dead end in Norville, not today. Take those 5 library cards, Team Kyle. You won them fair and square. Charles and Andrew heard a commotion on the 3rd floor. Bells ringing, an audience whooping it up, girls squealing. Come on, said Charles. They raced up the stairs and peeked into the electronic learning center. Kyle Keeley and his teammates were all hugging each other and slapping high fives. On every video screen in the game room, Charles could see a pictogram puzzle. What's going on in there? Whispered Andrew. They might be gaining on us, Charles whispered back. We need to pick up our pace. Quick. Where would I find a book called Hoosier Hospitality, written by Eve Healy Aristy? The 900s room. Let's go. Charles and Andrew scurried back to the 2nd floor in the 900s room, where they found Haley Daly holding Hoosier Hospitality by Eve Healy Aristy. Oh, hello, you guys, she said, slamming the book shut. Charles moved toward her slowly. Find anything interesting in that book, Haley? Not really, she giggled. Just a bunch of dumb junk about Indiana. Charles knew she was hiding something. I wonder, Haley, if you and I might share a quiet word? He turned to Andrew. In private. Does that mean I'm supposed to leave? Yes, Andrew, it's for the good of the team. Trust me. Okay, but I'll be right outside the door if you decide to double-cross me or something. Thank you, Andrew. This will only take a quick minute. Peckelman left the room. Smiling, Charles moved even closer to Haley. So close he could smell her bubble gum. Or shampoo. Maybe both. Let's step over here, he said, taking Haley by the elbow. I found another fascinating book I think you might just love. He guided her to a spot behind a bookcase where the conversation couldn't be observed by the security camera blinking up in the ceiling. Haley went with Charles. If he had been looking for the same book she'd just found, that meant he was playing the library escape game along a similar path. Charles Chiltington might have clues Haley could use. Clues she needed. Rumor has it, Charles whispered, that your parents wrote your library essay for you. Inside, Haley was grinning. Obviously, Charles would try to bully her into joining his team. Fine, she'd pretend to be frightened. What? She whispered back, pretending to be terrified. That's a lie. My dad just helped me with some of the spelling. Aha, so you admit it. All the spelling in your essay wasn't your own. Okay, this was going to take more acting skill than usual. Having someone check your spelling wasn't against anybody's rules for anything. She widened her eyes, made her lips quiver. What do you want, Charles? For you to join my team. Why should I do that? 2 reasons. 1, if you're on my side, your flagrant plagiarism remains our dirty little secret. 2, I know what to do with that silhouette card you just found in the Who's Your Hospitality book. You do? Oh yes, if we share our clues, the pictures will create a phrase telling us how to find the alternate exit. Haley smiled. For real. This was working out perfectly. She'd get all their clues, and even if they all went together, Mr. Lemoncello would definitely make her the real star of his TV commercials. She had zazz. Charles and Andrew did not. Okay, she said. Deal, I'm on your team. She handed Charles the clue she had found in the Who's Your book. Of course, said Charles. After all, Indiana is the Who's Your state. So there's Indiana. Chapter 29. Oh man, said Kyle, leading his team around the balcony back to the young adult room. 9 library cards. This is fantastic. They gathered around a table. Okay, guys, time for everybody to put their cards on the table. Literally. The teammates set down their cards. Kyle spread out the 5 from the discard bowl. Akini pulled out a pad and wrote all the information on one master list. Books/authors on the back of the library cards. Number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan W. Eckert /No David by David Shannon. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. 1 Fish, 2 Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss and 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Unknown. Number 4, Bridget Wage. Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Number 5, Sierra Russell. The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keatley Snyder. The Wrestling Game by Ellen Raskin. Number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Carol Pugliano Martin. Number 7, Sean Keegan. Olivia by Ian Falconer and Unreal by Paul Jennings. Number 8, Unknown. Number 9, Rose Vermette. All of a Kind Family by Sidney Taylor and Scat by Carl Hiaasen. Number 10, Kayla Corson. Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames, Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Number 11, Unknown. Number 12, Kyle Keeley. I Love You Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt. The Napping House by Audrey Wood. Wow, said Sierra, that's a lot of good books. But what do all those authors and titles mean? It means we need Charles's, Andrew's, and Haley's cards, said Kyle. Really? Said Akini, because if you ask me, we already have way too much information. Well, said Kyle, maybe we'll find a clue that'll tell us how to read this clue. And how are we going to do that? Asked Miguel. Have you ever played this? Kyle pointed to the Bibliomania box. Nope, always wanted to. We were just about to get up a game. Does this have anything to do with finding our way out of the library? We sure hope so, said Akimi. Awesome. By the way, Kyle said to Miguel, what'd you find in the Arts and Artifacts room? Yeah, said Akimi, all those papers you kept trying to hide from us. Miguel grinned. The original blueprints for the Gold Leaf Bank building. Clever, said Kyle. That way you could look for old exits that might still exist behind new walls. Exactly. Find any extra exits? Asked Akimi. Nope, no hidden windows either. Yeah, what's up with that? How come they built this place with so few windows? To discourage bank robbers, I guess, said Kyle. Yep, said Miguel. The only way in was through the front door. The fire exits could only be opened from the inside like at a movie theater. The vault itself was all the way down in the basement. Mr. Lemoncello kept all that security, said Kyle, and added his own. So it would seem. Well, hopefully Bibliomania will lead us to some kind of alternate exit. And fast, said Akimi. Don't forget, we're not the only ones playing this game. One of those other guys is probably halfway out the door already. Okay, said Kyle. Gameplay is pretty simple. You spin the spinner and advance your piece the number of spaces the needle points to. You move around the library and go into each of the 10 Dewey Decimal rooms, where you can pick up a book by answering a clue card. If you guess wrong, you get a new clue card in the same room on your next turn. The first person to fill the 10 slots in their bookshelf and spin their way out of the library wins. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, said Sierra, and the questions aren't all that hard because they're mostly multiple choice. Let's hear one, said Miguel eagerly. The cards were separated into 10 multicolored mini stacks, one for each room. Kyle grabbed a green card. Sorry. Okay, this is for the 800s room. Literature. Deathly ill and pursued by the ring wraiths, Frodo Baggins was carried safely across the river Bruinen on the gleaming white elf horse of Glorfindel named A. Asphodel, B. Asphaloth, C. Almerian, D. Aglachel. I probably said all those words wrong, and I'm sure somebody watching this has seen Lord of the Rings, and I think that was Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I probably just totally messed that up. Akimi shook her head like she was having a brain freeze. What, huh? I think the answer might be A, said Miguel. They're all A's, said Kyle. Asphodel, Asphaloth, oh, it's B. Asphaloth, said Sierra. It's from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Ha, I was right. Kyle flipped the card over and read the answer. You're correct. You get a copy of Lord of the Rings to put in your bookshelf. So Kyle, said Akimi, how exactly is knowing the name of an elf horse going to help us get out of the library? Maybe it's like a secret code, suggested Miguel, and the 10 book titles will form a sentence telling us how to get out. Possibly, said Kyle, but I see one problem. What's that? It's too random. Mr. Lemoncello would have no idea which 10 cards we might pick. Well, said Sierra, maybe there are only 10 questions, one for each room. Akimi grabbed the card stacks, fanned them out. Nope, they're all different. Hang on, said Kyle. He was remembering something about another game. Mr. Lemoncello's indoor-outdoor scavenger hunt. How his mother had been able to write the company and request a fresh set of cards. He turned to the video camera mounted in the corner. I'd like my librarian consultation, please. What's up, Kyle? Asked Miguel. I'm playing a hunch. The holographic Mrs. Tobin appeared behind the young adult librarian's desk. How may I help you, Kyle? My friends and I want to play Bibliomania, but we were wondering, is there a new set of cards? Yes, Kyle, there is. And a fresh deck of cards popped up through a slot in the desk. New cards, chapter 30. Last chapter today. We'll just play one bookshelf, said Kyle, because we're a team now, right, bro? Said Miguel. Right. Plus, we don't have all day. Well, said Akimi, technically we do. In fact, we have the rest of today and tomorrow till noon. We've got like 19 hours left, said Miguel. But Charles and the others, said Sierra, they could beat us. Right, said Kyle. After all, he is a Chiltington, and according to Sir Charles, they never lose. Miguel, you're the newest member of the team. You spin first. Miguel rubbed his hands together, limbered up his fingers, practiced flicking his index finger off his thumb. Like he's flicking. Made sure he had a good snap and follow through. Would you hurry up and spin before my brain explodes? Pleaded Akimi. No problem. Miguel flicked the plastic pointer. It whirled around the cardboard square decorated with sunbursts of 10 colorful triangles. Booyah, the triple zeros, general knowledge. That's not so great, said Kyle. How come? You get to move 0 spaces. Oh, bummer. Akimi shot up her hand. Yes, said Kyle. Do we have to really spin and count spaces and all that junk? We have a deadline. Clocks everywhere are ticking against us. Maybe we can just pull a pink card, suggested Sierra. It's really not how you play the game, said Kyle. We're not really playing this game, Kyle, said Akimi. We're playing the other one, the big game, the one with the ginormous prize. I have to agree with Akimi, said Miguel. Fine, said Kyle. It's against the rules, but pull a pink card. You sure, bro? Just pull a pink. Miguel quickly sorted the new deck into the 10 stacks of different colors. He pulled the pink on top of its pile. These are different from the regular cards. He turned it over and showed the group. 0 plus 27 plus 0.4 equals question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Easy peasy, said Akimi. The answer is 27.4 because the 0 doesn't change the sum. Not in math, said Miguel, but this isn't math. This is the Dewey Decimal System, and there's always 3 numbers to the left of the decimal point. We need to find a book with the call number 027.4, added Sierra. Fine, said Akimi, but I guarantee you it isn't a math book. The team made their way around the balcony, circling the Dewey Decimal doors. Here we go, said Miguel. He slid his library card into a reader on the door labeled 000. Okay, said Miguel. In here we're going to find general knowledge, almanacs, encyclopedias, bibliographies, books about library science. Hold on. It's a science, said Akimi. Where do they keep the chemicals? In the library paste, joked Sierra, who was loosening up. Excuse me. She hadn't read one page of a book in hours. Found it, said Miguel, reaching up to pull a book off of a shelf. 0.27.4. Man, it's old. Look how yellow the pages are. So what's the antique's title? Asked Akimi. Get to Know Your Local Library by Amy Alessio and Aaron Downey. Miguel held the book so everyone could see the cover. It was illustrated with a cartoony-looking detective in a checkered hat who was holding up a magnifying glass to examine books on a shelf. Looks like a library guide for kids, said Miguel, opening the cover to read one of the inside pages. First publication was way back in 1952. He flipped through a few pages. It explains the Dewey Decimal System, contains a glossary of library terms, a brief history of libraries. He reached the back of the book. Awesome. What? Asked Kyle as he and the others moved closer to see what Miguel had found. It's an old-fashioned book slip from the Alexandriaville Public Library. The one they tore down? Yep, and this card tucked into a sleeve glued to the back cover comes from the olden days when they used to stamp the date on the book. Stamp the date the book was due on a grid, and you had to fill your name under issued to. And look who checked this book out on 26 May 64. Kyle and the others looked. Luigi Limoncello. Down on the first floor, Charles used his library card to open the door to Community Meeting Room A. Who is to have access to this room? Cooed a soothing voice from the ceiling. Me and my teammates, said Charles, Andrew Peckelman and Haley Daly. Thank you. Please have Andrew Peckelman and Haley Daly swipe their cards through the reader now. Both of them did. Thank you. Interest in the Community Meeting Room A will be limited to those approved by the host, Charles Chiltington. Have a good meeting. Charles and his team entered the sleek, ultra-modern, white-on-white conference room. There were 12 comfy chairs set up around a glass-topped table and a cabinet filled with top-of-the-line audio-visual equipment. You can write on the wall, said Andrew. They're like smartboards at school. Excellent, said Charles, clasping his hands behind his back and pacing around the room. Now, when we find all 12 pictograms and lay them out according to their position in the staff picks display case, they will create a rebus for a phrase that I'm quite certain will tell us exactly how to exit this library without triggering any alarms. Therefore, it is time for us to lay out all of our cards on the table. Haley nodded and pulled 2 more silhouettes out of the back pocket of her jeans. I found one of these in a cookbook, she said. The other was in juvenile fiction. Nancy drew the mystery at Lilac Inn. There are blank note cards in this drawer, announced Andrew. We should use them as placeholders for the books we still need to find. They laid out a 3x4 grid of cards on the tabletop. What does it mean? Said Andrew. Simple, said Charles. It means we need to find those other 6 books. So there's the ones they have so far, and then all the ones that say need would be blank. They don't have those yet. But that's all for today. We'll pick up next time, starting with chapters 31, and we'll read 32 and 33 as well. So usually I end the video with a question or a riddle. Last time I gave you a fact. Today I wanted to tell you a joke. So the other day on TV they said, I don't even know what we were watching, but I thought this joke was really funny. So they said, what did one Dorito farmer say to the other Dorito farmer? Cool Ranch. And I just thought it was funny because like a farmer owns a ranch. Dorito farmer, cool ranch. I don't know if you thought that was funny, but I did. Y'all know I like silly, funny jokes. But I hope you guys enjoyed part 10. We are we're more than halfway through the book now, I guess, because I think if I did the math correctly, which I'm not very good at math, that's why I teach reading, you guys. I've told you guys that before. If I did the math correctly, there should be about 18 parts of this. There might be only 17 though. It depends. Just depends. But I hope you enjoyed. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!